This is Jim with theplumbinginfo.com. Today we're going to be installing a toilet. We'll go over the different procedures involved with installing the toilet, including removing the water, removing the toilet from its base, setting the new wax ring, and then reinstalling the toilet. We'll take a look at some of the tools and material we'll be using today. We have putty, crescent wrench, closet collar bolts, pencil, saw blade, channel locks, screwdriver, putty knife, caulk, our wax ring, and some newspaper to set the toilet on. Step one in removing a toilet is always to make sure that the water is turned off. We've located the supply valve right here, and we're going to turn it clockwise. Until it stops. The next step will be to remove the lid, and we are going to flush the toilet to confirm that we had a positive shutoff on the water. You're probably going to need to hold the handle up to make sure all the water goes out of the tank. At this point, we've confirmed that the water is in fact off, so now we'll have to remove the water from the bowl. Next, we're going to remove water from the actual toilet bowl. We're going to lift up both the seat so we're not splashing water onto the toilet seat. We have a small plastic cup, and we're going to take as much water as we can out of the bowl. By doing this, when we pull the toilet, we'll not have a bunch of water on the ground. Now that we have the water off, the toilet flushed and the water out of the bowl, we're going to remove the water supply. This nut right here, we're going to remove it counterclockwise motion until we free it up completely. May get a little bit of water once it's freed up. Next, we're going to remove the nut from the toilet itself, the fill valve. This nut right here. Now that that is free, we'll push down on this slightly. And now we are free. Next, we're going to remove the closet collar caps. First, we can use a screwdriver to pop the cap off. Sometimes they just come off by hand. Below that, we have the closet collar bolt itself, Johnny bolt. Break it free. Generally they come right off. We're going to want to save the nut, the washer, and the cap, the plastic washer right here that retains the cap onto the toilet itself. We're going to do the same thing for the other side. Next, we are going to remove or cut the caulk from that's holding the toilet to the ceramic floor. Just scoring inside of it. We're going to go all the way around the toilet. Now that we've done that, we're going to see if we can rock the toilet free. It appears the caulk has separated. Next, we're going to lift the toilet. We're going to grab it right here. We want to make sure we lift with the knees. We're free, and we're going to bring it back and set it on the... Next, we're going to scrape the wax ring from the closet collar itself. We see these black spots right here. Generally, those indicate that the toilet was probably leaking in that area there because the wax was not pressed completely up to the toilet itself. So we're going to start by just cutting it off. This is sticky, so you're going to want to put it onto the newspaper that we have sitting out. There is a horn in this one, which will help in bringing it probably all up in one piece. step, we're going to remove the old caulk from the tile. I'm just using my scraper, slowly working it off. It should come off in one piece. The new caulk won't adhere too well if we leave that on there, so we're going to want to get all that off. These bolts themselves are in good shape, and they were actually nutted down to the closet collar. But we're going to show how to install new ones. So generally you're not going to have them nutted down to the closet collar, but I'm going to actually remove the nuts from the collar. Generally there's slots, and then there's an open window right there which will let them come out. Now I have both of them out. Next we're going to install the new bolts, and they come with a plastic retaining washer which we're going to slide on. We'll go into that open window right there and slide over. And these plastic retaining washers are going to help in keeping the bolts straight up while we set the toilet. As you can see, these bolts are a little long, but we're going to cut them off after we install. Deciding what type of wax ring to use is important. This closet collar itself is actually sitting just above the finished floor. Ideally, this is the way we like to see it. We can use a normal wax ring. Had the closet collar been flush with the floor, we'd want to use a little thicker wax ring to compensate for that. So right here is the thickness we're looking at, so we're going to use a normal wax ring. Here's our wax ring. We're going to remove the plastic packing from it, and we're going to set it on the closet collar. There is some debate on this. We as professionals will set it on the closet collar. The instructions the manufacturers provide with the wax rings may challenge this, but if you do this step, you will not have to remove the water tank from the toilet, set it on its side, and apply the wax ring and then reassemble all this. This alleviates a lot of the steps if the directions are followed properly.